This is Howard from BigHBricklin.com, and we're going to show you how to replace the hatch glass seal with a stiffer version that keeps the hatch window from falling into the back of the car on a hot day. We've got a prep piece of glass, a hatch, the stiffer seal material, and the lock strip. We'll show you how to use the tools and the techniques and make it easy for you to get this done, because every Bricklin out there needs it. These cars had a problem with too soft of a weather strip, and on a hot day the rear window would fall right into the hatch. So what they did from the factory was put 3 clips in, one on each lift support and one by the striker. That didn't really cure the problem, kept the hatch window from falling in, but I always wonder about the window falling out when a semi-truck comes past you the opposite direction. The lock strip goes on the inside for security reasons. That way gives you a better look on the outside, but this lock strip always goes on the inside. Don't let some glass guy put the lock strip on the outside because he's being lazy. And the tools that you will need will be a rubber mallet, lock strip installation tool, plastic pry tools, masking tape, a fresh razor blade, soapy water, and when you prep the glass cleaner, fine steel wool, and clay bar. Instead of a razor blade, you can use a tubing cutter. You're going to need 2 work stands side by side to do this safely. If you try it on one, it's going to be a little sketchy. The first step, locate where the striker is on the hatch, because it's in the center of the hatch. Then we're going to put a piece of masking tape right where the striker is. That way we can locate where to start the hatch seal and put the seam where the 2 ends connect at the very bottom where you don't notice it. The next step is to spray soapy water on one side of the hatch seal. And then we're going to line it up with the middle of the masking tape, push it in to the hatch. The more soapy water, the better. And then where we can, we'll push this in with a rubber mallet. I do recommend soaping up the edge a little bit, make the install a little better. You'll have to keep it from twisting. That's a pretty good twist. Get it around the corner, shove it into the corner, push it up against your body, take the rubber mallet, make sure it's fully seated, especially in the corners. Then you can just keep going all the way down the hatch. More soapy water, soap up the seam. Try to get this snake to go where you want it. And remember, this is with the hatch right side up. We're going to flip it upside down once we get this in. It's going in pretty nice with all the soapy water. Do not use any kind of sealer. It's not necessary. This will conform to the hatch. Never seen one leak unless you've got a severely damaged hatch. At that point, you're better off replacing the hatch. And you can get reproduction replacements. They actually fit the car better than the factory hatch. Make sure it's fully seated everywhere. because the soap makes it go in easy, but until it dries, it'll make it come out easy too. Now over here on this seam, we have to compress it, just like we did on the door weather strip. Bend it up a little, cut it where it compresses itself into place and pushes, because eventually it will shrink. On the safety red car earlier in the video, there's a very slight gap in the seam, and that was done over 10 years ago. So here's where we got to get our razor blade, make a very straight cut. And if you also have a tubing cutter, like one of these, I'm going to cut it way out here. Should make a nice clean cut all the way through. Whew, that's nice. Well, this is a little tool from Cobalt. It's for cutting plumbing, plastic tubing. So if we mark this, I'm going to mark it with a tape. If you have a razor blade, that's fine, but these tubing cutters are just phenomenal. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger than it needs to be with my tape. Cut it. And then compress it into place. Oh, that works great. Very nice. If you do that, that's pretty hard to see. Now we're going to flip the hatch over. The hatch itself is not too heavy. When the glass goes in, it gets a whole lot heavier. This was a piece of NOS glass, and it had a whole lot of just oxidation all over it. You can lightly go up and down on these defogger grids and get them clean and beautiful. We've already done this window. You just go over it lightly, only take off enough material, just get the oxidation off. If you grind that off, it's going to look bad and it won't work. Then you clay bar it, glass clean it, and on the back side you can polish it with the same polishing method we used on the quarter windows, with the glass polish and the buffer. Now comes the fun part. Trying to get the window in this is a little bit of a trick, but once it gets started, you're home free. Watch out for the striker. Okay, we're removing the striker just to keep from bumping into the edge of the glass. We're going to take soapy water, squirt it in the weather strip, put it in the lock strip area too, put it on the edge of the window. Okay, so now we're going to try to insert the top into half of the side and the very top edge, sliding it forward a little bit at a time, keeping it lubed up. More soapy water. Stuff does dry up, so if you're having trouble, you probably need to add more. Work it into the groove. Almost there on that one. Push the weather strip up or down a little bit to get the glass to go in. There. Now we're going to use the plastic pry tool to get this edge to go around the glass. And as we do that, we got to work on both sides at the same time. You can push the weather strip up a little use the glass tool, push it up. Use the glass tool, don't push it up too far, it'll pop out. Don't forget to keep lubing it up. Keep it lubed. Push the seal up a little. Use your plastic pry tool to help it in. And push the window down. Uh-oh, this one started to knock this off a little bit here. Put it back in. It's a little bit of fidgeting, but it will go in. This is probably the toughest part of this, is getting the window in the weather strip to start with. And I've actually seen some of these hatch openings that needed to be enlarged a little bit, but don't do that right away. You better be absolutely sure, or now you're going to have a window that falls out again. Just keep going all the way around. Work it, work it, work it. Push this up and work it in. Getting to these corners up here is going to be the tough part. More lubricant. Here we're popping the weather strip up and pushing down at the same time, trying to get that corner to go in. Make sure we're in all the way around up here. Looks like it. This is working pretty good here. Don't pry too hard, just get it to move. It's a combination of pushing up on the weather strip, using the plastic pry tool to guide it in, and then pushing it towards the top to get all this to happen. You just got to do a little at a time. Don't fight one area of it. Just do it a little at a time, and it'll just fall right together. No problem. Get her done. So I'm pushing up and pushing down. You got to get this corner in a little better. Right here. So I'm going to push the weather strip up a little, guide it around. Yeah, you might slip once in a while too. Just work it, work it, work it, work it. Like I said, this is the toughest part of this whole operation, is doing this right here. And now I'm pushing down. As I get the weather strip around it, once I push it down, this should fall into place. Pull up, ooh, on the hatch. Yeah, don't go too far. You can push too far. Now this window is in place. Okay, now for the lock strip. We're going to wet this down, severely fill that groove up with soapy water. Oh yeah, just fill that up. Make it the canal, the rear hatch window canal. There we go. Now we got to get our lock strip. And which way does it go? The point goes down. And we're going to lube this up too, and then we're going to get the tool. And what you're going to do is guide this. You'll put it in first and then guide it in as you go with this tool. It's going to separate this groove right here, and that puts the window in real nice and tight. So there's no other way to really do this. You'll be fighting it. You can't use screwdrivers, can't use knives, can't use hammers. This has to go in. And you can put the seam for this in a different place than the hatch seam. Anyway, it'll go in, be pushed in, and guided into place with this. So here we go. As you can see, it's already laying itself in there nicely. So keep our soapy water flowing here. Let's wet that strip. It's a matter of pushing this direction, keeping this strip level. If you put it in crooked, it'll go in crooked. I like to wiggle it. You don't have to push as hard. Oop, it popped out. Gotta pop it back in. If you get a spot like this where it popped out and it didn't look like it went in all the way, just take your pry tool, go on each side of it, and straighten it out. It'll go back in nice and neat. One of the lubricants you can use is detail spray, because detail spray is a lubricant. So I'm going to add a little bit of that to the mix on that. Be careful about using the window as a workbench. Not a good idea. Especially with those grids. You scratch those grids and your rear defogger not only looks bad through the outside, but it won't work. Make sure you don't get carried away and push the hatch off the work stands. Doesn't hurt to have someone assisting and holding the other side. But if you're by yourself, just pay attention to what you're doing. Pushing is definitely a lot faster, although in tight places, wiggling and pushing is much better. You can also push towards yourself with two hands. You might be able to skip a workout at the gym, but it's really not that bad. More detail spray, more soapy water. You can tell when more lubricant gets in the right place, it goes a lot easier. It's funny how in some places it just starts to go. Mm-hmm. And when you get to the end, once again, make it slightly bigger and get ready to compress it in place. And pull your tool out. You will have to push this in by hand at this point. There we go. Now it's a matter of cleaning up the window, getting all that soapy water off, and success. This is a lot heavier now, so watch yourself when you flip it over. This is heavy with the glass in it. Very heavy. Yeah. After cleaning the glass, we can install the hatch. I hope this video makes your Bricklin restoration a lot easier.
Try it one more time.
And here's some of the parts available for your hatch restoration at bighbricklin.com.